don't know if it gets any better than this. Ow! Although, I guess I could have done without that prickle in the foot. Ahoy folks, Jake the Ken here, and if you'd like to explore Cooktown in Far North Queensland from the comfort of your couch, then this might be just the video for you. In this episode, we're kicking off by having a sticky beak through Main Street and checking out the township itself. Well, actually, we're kicking off by making a coffee because I'm f***ing tired. We'll be venturing through a hillside coastal tracks, solving GoPro accessory conundrums.
Oh, do we?
Nut chaos. Trying to determine why our rice cakes have turned yellow, and it may be time to say goodbye to an old friend, the Adventure Pluggers. So if you're new here, welcome aboard, and if you're a regular, then welcome back. Let's get into another feckin' adventure.
Bad guys.
We've just arrived in Cooktown, we've come in from the south end and we're cruising down Main Street, and I've got to say this place is much more established and populated than I was expecting. Since visiting, I've read that Cooktown was home to 1,797 people as of the 2021 census data on the Australian Bureau of Statistics website. Whew, that was a mouthful. This clip pretty much starts where the shops begin on the south end of town, and as you'll see in a moment, we're cruising as far as we can past the wharf and down to this little foreshore zone, where I'll get a coffee going before we explore a bit on foot.
Bit of a lazy morning this morning. We haven't even made the bed yet.
How good is this Ripper electric public barbecue? Thought I might cook the coffees on here for a change rather than using our gas setup.
I'm not sure that this got completely boiled in the end, but let's see how we go.
As you could imagine, when you're living on the road, every day is different. So making these coffees in the morning is arguably the closest thing I have to any routine.
Ooh, switcheroo.
Coffee sorted, so let's have a look around. My initial impression is that this place is pretty bloody nice, and I'm loving the green grass after spending some time with the red dirt of Cape York just a little further north of here. Looks like Bad Gaz likes it here too.
Bad guys.
We also found this little cafe place, and obviously it was closed at the time of filming, but when it did open up it was absolutely pumping. Pretty cool that you can take the stairs and walk out onto the roof here as well. After patrolling the foreshore, we're back in the troop and off to have a quick squiz at a nearby lookout. It's only about a 5-minute drive, but the climb up is pretty bloody steep, so I wouldn't personally want to take the Shoelace Express up there.
We're going to the Grassy Hill lookout.
In Cooktown. If you're into history, there's a bit of that to read about at the top, as well as some pretty nice views over the coast and the river and the trees. Personally, I had a hard time chilling out up there because the troopy was parked on a pretty big angle and I was worried it might roll away. Thankfully, it stayed exactly where I parked it. Back on Main Street now, and it's time to look for some food. Where are we off to, Trish?
To the pub.
We are going to the Cooktown Hotel. Hopefully they have wedges. I feel like wedges. Not serving meals at the moment at the Cooktown Hotel, so now we're going to go look for something else. It wasn't long before the big neon fishy sign caught my eye, so fish and chips it is. While we waited, I checked out Anzac Park, which is right next to the cafe. Here's a brief look at what's there. Fish and chips acquired and consumed, and what a delicious feed it was indeed. Now that we're all fueled up, we're back in the car and off to check out a nearby beach towards Archer Point, which is about 25 kilometres away. Southbound on the Mulligan Highway. But on the way there, we've gone past a sneaky little nope rope. We've just gone past a dead snake, which I feel is unfair to count as a proper snake, but also we can't really count it as no snake. So I think it's fair to say we've now seen 5.5 snakes.
Well, it is a full snake. It's just dead.
But it's dead. I'm calling it 5.5. You can call it 6 if you want.
I will.
Well, I think the only way we can settle this is to check the official snake counter. Aha, well there we go. 5.5 it is. So now that that's sorted out, we're on to Archer Point Road, which is quite a scenic little drive. So here we are, we've made it to this beautiful beach without a care in the world. Ow! Except for that thing. Literally just took my shoes off, my thongs off. First step, prickle in the foot.
They're everywhere. Wow, how nice is this?
Very nice, guys. Scenic walk to the beach, take 2. Hey bad guys! Having fun?
Yep.
Pretty lovely beach, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Doesn't seem to matter where I go here, there are just ants on ants all over the place. I've just squatted down into a little ant zone. I'll give you a look. Many, many ants in the ant zone. We're at this lovely, lovely beach at the moment. I'm just trying to get out of the wind, so apologies if you get a little bit of wind noise. Kind of looks like the typical layout of mangroves, but as you can see, they're not really mangrove type trees. I actually can't find a name for this beach, but if you're ever down this way looking for it, you really can't miss it on the right side on your way down Archer Point Road. We're back at Truck Norris now. We're going to jump in and keep cruising. Excuse the wind, folks, I know it sucks, but we are just around the corner now and I think we've made it to Archer Point. As you can see, we were greeted by another beautiful beach here and what looks like a man-made rock wall and what's left of an old jetty or wharf here too, which is interesting. From here, it's a short walk back to the car, which is led by the brave bad Gaz, as I'm scared of snakes and I don't want to bring our snake sighting count up to a 6.5, that is for sure. Anyway, we're going to go now about a couple of 100 metres down the road where we've seen a lighthouse, so let's go check it out. On the drive to the lighthouse, we learned that there's campsites in this conservation area too, which is pretty cool since it's only about 25 minutes from town. As far as I can tell, there's no camping fee, but there's also no toilets or any other amenities inside either. These sites are pretty out in the open, so depending on the weather, I'd bet they cop a fair bit of wind. Anyway, we're up the hill and we've made it to the lighthouse. It's actually a pretty unique looking little lighthouse too. I can see too that there's been something else built here in the past. I wonder if it was more of a typical looking lighthouse once upon a time. From up here you can certainly appreciate this beautiful landscape of green hills sloping down to meet the deep blue coloured water. Truck Norris is even taking a break and soaking it all in. Anyway, I'll shut up for a moment and let you folks enjoy some of this fabulous hillside drive. There's been a few signs around which lead me to believe that this place might have seen its fair share of littering and misuse, and unfortunately we have noticed a bit of rubbish scattered around as we drive through these coastal tracks. Yeah, I just thought somebody went to the effort to sort of collect all of the rubbish and put it in the one spot, so yeah, I might as well do the easy part, put it in the car and throw it in the bin, so that's what we're doing. We were thinking we might camp out this way initially, but as you know, it's pretty windy today, which makes it a bit uncomfortable on the coast here. Although, it would have been great for drying my undies, but as you can see, they're doing okay on the troop line. So it's back out along Archer Point Road, back on the highway and back into Cooktown, where we're going to solve the latest conundrum that has popped up. Basically for the GoPro we've got 2 attachments. So the first one is our selfie stick / tripod, and the other attachment is our little head mount here. Action cam Gaz, check it out!
Adventure Gaz.
And what's recently happened on both of them is that we've lost a mounting prong. So you can see on the head cam here, we've lost the prong on this side, but we've still got the prong that's got the captive nut in it. So what that means is, long story short, basically we can still use that to clamp the GoPro in there. But on the selfie stick one, we've also lost a prong, but the prong that we've lost, brain error, rebooting system now. The prong that we've lost on this is the one that had the captive nut in. So again, long story short, we can put this in here now, but we don't have a nut to secure the GoPro on. So what I've been trying to do is use this little nylock nut here,
which is one that I had just hanging around as a spare. So that's been sort of doing the job because we can clamp the GoPro in using that, but because it's got that nylon piece in there, you can't really do it up tight enough with your fingers. So it's meant we've had to carry this little plier set around to, you know, to tighten the GoPro up enough to clamp it in, which basically is pretty painful. So we're going to go to a hardware store now and just see if we can get a little replacement nut here that doesn't have that nylon on the inside, so that we can keep using our selfie stick. So guys, let's get rolling to the hardware shop.
Take me to the hardware shop.
Here we are, Cooktown Hardware.
How'd you go?
G'day guys. Well, not only did we get one nut, but we got 25 nuts. Oh,
Oh, do we?
nut chaos. Tripod back in action, guys. First video with the tripod back in the game. Look at this, I can shake it around. That nut is doing a good job.
Alright, so we'll chuck the other bloody 24 spares in the spare zone here, and then we're burning back to the foreshore to sneak in a quick workout at the exercise park. If you've been following along for a while, you know I've been doing pull-ups on branches in trees and all sorts of weird stuff to get a workout in, so it's nice to have access to this public gear. So that's our little afternoon exercise session complete, and as you can see we're back at the Trippin now. So I'm going to grab a couple of rice cakes, have a peanut butter rice cake or two, and then get the fishing rod and go for a cast along the rocks here. So hopefully we can pick something up. I've just got back to the car now, and obviously I'm wearing my hat backwards, and I can see that Bad Gaz is too, but she never wears her hat backwards, so I think she's making fun of me. Have a look what we got here. Backwards hat Gaz as well, hey? Did you do that because I had mine backwards? Or did you? Head high five?
Oh, you got a hard head.
You got a hard head. Hard head Fred. Gaz! But these rice cakes seem super thin, and they also seem like yellow, Gaz.
I think they're different to these
What's
ones.
going on with these?
Rice
Ah, you got the ones with corn cakes. That's why. Thin corn cakes. And these one are rice cakes. We got the corn cakes. I didn't even know corn cakes were a thing. There we go, mystery solved. They taste odd because they're corn cakes with rice in them.
At least they're not corn fritters.
They're not actually rice cakes, yeah. Bad Guys made corn fritters once. I don't even know what a corn fritter is, but it was really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Probably the worst meal that you've ever made.
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll survive until they run out.
Yep.
And then we'll get rice cakes.
If they haven't.
You think I should use bait or lures, guys, when I go fish?
Lures.
Lures? I'm feeling lures. There's some big bird getting around in the bushes back there. I can hear it, but I can't see it.
It's probably a bush turkey.
Could be a bush turkey. What's a bush turkey?
Turkey in the bush?
After learning what a bush turkey is and smashing a couple of corn cakes, I did eventually get out there and flick some lures about, but unfortunately I was outsmarted by the fishies once again. Ah well, we did enjoy a lovely sunset over the water, and now it's time for some late night blender action. Never too late to blend, is it, Gaz? Not out here. Hit it, Brenda. Ah, the inverter's off. Can you hit the inverter, Trish? I thought Brenda was broken then, but I should have known better. Brenda's never broken. Hit it, Brenda. Oh, there we go. I quickly do the post blender pack up and we're about to head off into the night. But first, I'll tell you about another conundrum that I nearly forgot about.
G'day, mate. Yep.
Also, I nearly forgot to tell you folks, but today, Adventure Thongs, no more.
Not good.
Bummer. I was climbing some pretty insane beach rocks and bang, popped off. So Bad Gaz actually has the exact same size thongs on because Bad Gaz's pair is my other pair. So when we were in Tassie a while back, I broke Bad Gaz's thongs, so I gave her a pair of mine and I brought my own. So basically, I can still sort of get around if Bad Gaz isn't wearing her thongs, which are my thongs. So I don't know. That was much more confusing than it had to be. But basically, I've broken a thong, is what I'm trying to say.
We need to buy another pair.
Why was that so hard for me to explain? Like, simplest concept ever. It took ages.
Because it's like 10 o'clock at night. We're tired.
Hit the lights, Gaz. I can't see where I'm going.
Can't see you, mate.
It's a bit dark, Gas. That's what happens at night time, you know?
Is it?
This is what Cooktown looks like at night time at 10 o'clock on a Monday night.
As Bad Gaz and I cruise off to camp, we share a moment of silence for the Adventure Thongs, which will be dearly missed. In fact, here is the last known footage of them in action.
Kind of sounds like glass when you walk on it. How crazy is that?
In the next video, we're back to the Cooktown Foreshore again, and I thought we'd show you folks a bit more of the troopy setup and a few of the processes we go through while living on the road in 4-wheel drive.
What you doing in there, Bad Gaz?
Zipping the sleeping bag up and closing the windows.
But I thought I might show you folks a cool little thing that I worked out not all that long ago. So this is the big tube that my rods live in.
Feel free to check it out once it's uploaded, and in the meantime, you can jump over to the channel to catch up on previous episodes. As always, thank you for your time and attention. Feel free to connect with me on the socials at the link in the description, and don't forget to subscribe for more feckin' adventures.
I don't know, sometimes I forget words. It pops up to a sync